Welcome to another year of SHOT Show 2023. This year, dozens of new guns have been announced. You have to be an industry insider to get a pass to SHOT Show, so I'm going to give you the all-access pass, show you all the cool new guns in this video. Tomorrow's video is going to be all the accessories, scopes, hunting gadgets, all that stuff. So be sure to subscribe to Backfire to see both videos. Let's go! This is from STAG Arms. It's called the Pursuit. It's a hunting-focused rifle that has some kind of AR DNA in it. I think this one's going to be pretty popular. It has 3 distinct pieces on the stock, so they're interchangeable that you could kind of switch them out. They have different colors and styles. So it's very lightweight, has a thick, heavy contour barrel with really deep flutes so that you get the rigidity but also some weight savings. It's under 7 pounds. It's got all the modern stuff like QD flush cups. I think this is going to be an extremely popular gun in my audience. This is the STAG Arms Pursuit.
MC9 is our newest introduction to the Canik line this week. It's going to be a slimmed down version of our SC model. So it'll come with a 12 round and a 15 round magazine and a full accessory kit, including your accessories, a holster, cleaning kit, and speed loader.
We're here with the new Chris Vector Origin. This is new for 2023. It's new, but it's kind of old. So this is a 20-year anniversary limited edition model that's an homage to some of the early Vectors and early prototypes. So we have the original round shroud on here, we have the original folding stock, and we also have the original skeletonized trigger in a 2-tone custom Cerakote colorway that's kind of a throwback to the original Vector prototypes. It's only in 45 ACP and only in the carbine version, and it's also going to come with a custom foam cut carry case and a bunch of other cool stuff, as you can see here. Also new for 2023 is the DMK22 Arca Swiss. We've made a couple of different updates to the DMK22, the main one being this handguard with the Arca Swiss dovetail on the bottom and allow you to move your bipod forward and back very easily. This gun is really designed for more of a precision competition focus for the DMK22. As always, the barrel is interchangeable with the Ruger 1022 barrels, and your typical AR-15 furniture and triggers will all work in it.
AERO Precision talked about these two rifles last year. They came out with just the chassis, but now they're actually being released. So this is in the KRG Bravo chassis, more of a hunting focused rifle with their own action and their barrel. It's a little bit odd to me because they're using a very thick contour barrel, but it's supposed to be more hunter focused. Then this is more the competition focused with their chassis that I think is really nice. I like that Arca Swiss rail along the bottom. We're at the Smith & Wesson booth. This one is getting a lot of people talking about it. What is this gun and who's it for?
Absolutely, yeah. So we just launched today. This is our M&P 5.7, Chamberlain 5.7. It's got some standard M&P features, but it's also got some upgrades, which is great. It's a full-size polymer handgun. Capacity is 22 rounds. It ships with 2 magazines, which is great. We have a flat face trigger in here. It's internal hammer fired, so that trigger is nice and crisp. You know, not a lot of recoil with this, which is great. It's cut for optics. It's got some serrations on there to reduce glare. It's also threaded if you want to run it suppressed.
TriStar has 2 new shotguns out. This is the Viper G2 Pro, super glossy wood stock in a high finish chrome receiver. It looks pretty cool. TriStar shotguns are usually pretty inexpensive. I think I like the look of that one. Of course, has choke tubes. They're all made in Turkey. And then over here, more of your traditional gun. This one's also new. Comes in a couple different finishes you can see here. It has a choke tube inside it. Of course, you got your iron sights. Pretty cool, traditional looking shotgun. This is a classy way to dispatch a rabbit. No actual new rifles from Tikka, but I know the question that you guys have asked me a million times to ask them is, when are we going to see 7 PRC? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be in 2023. The reason is because they're in Europe, they go off CIP rather than SAMI, and CIP hasn't certified the 7 PRC yet, and so they aren't loading it. So Tikka's pretty slow to move with new cartridges, and it looks like we're at least a year out for 7 PRC in the Tikkas.
Here's a new model with a new caliber, 38 Super. That's our regulator, all nickel coated with a high gloss finish. This is new. This is an aluminum framed carry It's 9mm right now. It'll also be in 45. Now that is a very cost competitive aluminum bobtailed carry 1911. A Texas tribute gun, a Davy Crockett tribute gun.
You can't skip over this one. This might be one of the prettiest pistols I've ever seen. I was actually born in Texas, and so this one speaks to me. That is a fine looking gun. I like that.
On our Fati 13 here, we kind of went back to the old Beretta roots here. So this is something you would recognize in a Beretta from the 1970s. And one more very new gun is our compact PX9. We've had a lot of success with our PX9s over the years, the full-size pistols. Now this gets into the carry size. It still uses a SIG style magazine. We use the 226 in the PX9. We use a 228 in the compact.
This is the CADEX defense booth, and here we have a tiny little 22, right?
Just a tiny one.
What is this and what it's for?
Okay, so this is my competition rifle. I shoot EOR, and right now we have a 338 enabler barrel in it, but we will go back and forth between 338 and 375 enabler.
How far do you shoot with that?
So it depends. Like in competition, we start anywhere from like 1,500 yards. We go out to 2 miles. Me personally, what was this, 2 years ago? You can find it on YouTube, Chase Stroud. But using the 375 enabler, I took this out to 3 miles.
It is heavy. How much does this weigh?
So it's right under 40 pounds. We have to stay under 40 pounds to compete.
Tell me about the ammo here.
Okay, so that is ShyTac. That's 375 ShyTac. This is a 375 enabler round. So then you'll be able to see the difference between the two. It's a little bit shorter, a little bit fatter.
All right, brother.
And it comes in a temperature and humidity controlled case here.
These do, yes.
That is awesome. New from High Point, this is the JXP. If you know High Point, you know they're going to hit a good price point for this 10 mil handgun, threaded 45, optics ready. That is a blue collar way to dispatch a grizzly bear. Howa released the Howa 1500 Hera edition. That's a German stock, H-E-R-A. The butt pad is like a hard plastic. It has no squish at all, basically ineffectual. The front of it has so much play in the front. I'm concerned about durability, but certainly movement on a bipod. And the cheek piece appears to be adjustable, but it's not. It's actually just fixed. So I must admit, it's a rifle that I just don't quite understand what it's for. This is the Air Force Talon Bolt. It's a PCP air gun, so you fill it up with like a scuba tank full of compressed air. It'll give you about 5 shots between fills, and it's a bolt gun. So these are shooting arrows that are about 300 grains plus 100 grains for your tip, and it's shooting them about 400 feet per second. So this is an awesome option for somebody who's just looking for a different way to do some hunting, or somebody that, having a hard time pulling back a crossbow, something like that. This is a pretty sweet way to hunt. As this becomes legal in more and more states to hunt with air guns, I am definitely interested in this.
We're showing off the new, not yet released, Homesteader 9mm. It's a semi-automatic. The name Homesteader, we're looking at it as kind of like a home defense, ranch gun, truck gun, whatever you want to call it, type of thing.
I really like Faxon Firearms. They make pretty inexpensive components and really well-made things. I have one of their AR-10s in 8.6 Blackout that I'm going to be showing you on the channel soon. But this is their new component action, sub $1,000, and it feels really, really nice. A premium action for a very nice price point. I think this is going to be pretty popular, especially with a lot of the other action makers like Defiance really increasing their price point. Feels like a very nice action. It's only available in short action right now. Eventually, we hope to see a long action.
We're going to talk to you today about the new Carmel rifle that IWI has introduced this year. So basically some of the features, you'll probably recognize this looks very similar to a SCAR style rifle. You're going to have a adjustable buttstock on the back for a length of pull. You've got an adjustable cheek piece for depending on the type of scope you're going to run onto it, get your cheek height set up onto it. It's going to have an adjustable gas system. Gas system, if you guys want to run suppressed, you can bleed off some of that excess gas so you're not cycling your action so much. Only available in 223 right now. It does use a standard AR-15 style magazine, which is very nice.
We've introduced the A300 Ultima Patrol with all of the features that people love in our 1301 at a much more attainable price point. Now the 1301 is still going to have that better gas system, that better barrel, and just absolute bomb-proof reliability, but we took as much of that reliability for the A300 and tuned it in for LE 132 federal flight control loads. Added M-lock on the fore end, wind out loading port, just everything you would need in a tactical shotgun. This has it out of the box.
In a recent video, I showed you the 3 new rifles from Bergara. They're all using carbon fiber either on stock or barrel. It's all about losing weight this year, which we're happy to see. This one is cool. This is the Bergara B14 squared crest.
Correct, yep.
The stock just feels good. It feels high end as soon as you touch this thing. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we shot this on the range a little bit yesterday. The stock we completely make ourselves. So monocoque construction with a solid foam core, and then there's a spine right down the center of it for rigidity. We go down into the Wilderness family now. So we got 2 rifles in the Wilderness family that got the carbon barrel treatment this year. So this is the Wilderness HMR carbon.
So a question on this carbon barrel. I noticed this doesn't have the Cure marketing language in
Correct.
it. So a little bit of a different barrel on this one?
Just a little bit different, yeah, from what we're doing as far as processes and stuff like that. So it's still going through the same tests as far as for repeatability, the heat dissipation, and all that's going through that. So I'm still getting a lot of the same features out of it that you would get on our Premier line.
Okay.
So,
and are we going to see this in 7 PRC?
We're hopeful.
Hopefully we'll get it.
On average, we're like 2 to 2.5 pounds lighter than the steel barrel version of the same rifle.
This would be a great rifle for NRL Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's still a pretty stout rifle, but it's light enough that you can fit in some of those weight classes.
Yep.
And then this one is the Ridge. So you've seen the Ridge stock, but this one is adding the carbon barrel.
Correct.
And it feels pretty light because I love the Ridge and the price point it hits, but it was a little bit chunky. This one is ready for the mountains.
Yep, absolutely. I took this on an antelope hunt this year, and it was an absolute pleasure to carry around.
This is a new rifle from Browning. This is the Browning X-Bolt Target Max Competition Light. So many words. The idea for this is it's kind of that crossover between target and hunting. This would work really well in NRL Hunter. It weighs in around 9 pounds, and so you're going to get very dead sights after you shoot. And a nice, very modern stock with Arca Swiss on the bottom. I'm really happy about that. Has their recoil hog brake that's tunable here, so you can control how much upward flip you have. One thing that I'm excited to see is they are going to be supporting 7 PRC. We should be seeing that in a bunch of the different rifles middle of this year. These are all the suppressor ready. You'll see like SR on the names. And so they're generally a little bit of a shorter barrel. They're kind of flared out here to accept a suppressor. Almost all of them are threaded 5/8 24, so very happy to be seeing that. This is the new CVA Paramount Pro version 2. You'll notice it has some different stock lines. It comes in 2 versions, one intended for an optic. This one is for Colorado and New Mexico that don't allow you to put a scope on them. This is the one that I have that I've showed on this channel. Incredibly accurate. I always get comments when I show these on the channel saying, "You idiot, that's not a muzzle loader, it has a bolt right there." It is actually a muzzle loader. You do load it through the bolt, but you can take out your charge, put in your primer, everything in the back.
This is our reproduction G series FAL. It's a very classic looking gun with the iconic wooden handguard, pistol grip, and buttstock. It has specialty markings designed specifically for this model. We're really proud of this gun in terms of recreating a piece of history. We took a lot of extra steps to ensure authenticity of the firearm. People who are into FALs are familiar with the G series and the history associated with them. Them being a kind of a rare breed in terms of the ATF allowing them and then disallowing them. So this is a really affordable way to get into a classic FAL and own a new piece of history.
This is the new Fierce Rogue. I showed one to you in a review a couple weeks ago. This is a sweet gun. It's extremely lightweight, some configurations under 6 pounds. But there are other updates they have. So both of these are the rival, but this one has a box magazine on the bottom, and this one has the hinged floor plate. Now the rival is going to come stock with an adjustable cheek piece, which is a huge upgrade for me. I really, really like that. This is the Mini Rogue. I feel like fat guy with a little gun on this one. This is the same Rogue, but everything compact for a youth shooter, a lady, somebody small framed. It's crazy light. How light is this? Do you know? 5.8 pounds, something like that. It is crazy light. Next, this is their least expensive option. So this has a steel barrel. This is called the
Twisted Rival FP.
Fierce Twisted Rival FP. Least expensive option with the steel barrel, but you get that adjustable cheek piece here. And then down here, this one is sweet. This is the ultimate. This is the Fierce Mountain Reaper. They've had the Reaper before. This is the Mountain version. So it is just really, really lightweight. You get a piece of ARCA here, or they have an accessory that's full length, QD flush cup, all the new modern adjustable things that you could want in a modern rifle. Pretty cool.
We're debuting the 2311 pistol, all right? So as the name may suggest, there's a lot of 1911 DNA in this firearm. We got the 1911 FCU in here, minus the grip safety. You'll notice there's no grip safety here. We also included ambidextrous controls. So on both sides of the firearm, you have everything you need. On the left side of the firearm, your slide stop, slide release is also your takedown lever, where you'll find a linkless barrel, match grade barrel. Everything on this weapon is designed to be modular. You're going to get four mounting plates for your RDS, as well as your iron sight plate.
We just saw a ton of guns from SHOT Show, but tomorrow's video is all about the gadgets, the accessories, the scopes, the everything there. So be sure to check Backfire on mañana.